To advertise with us, donate sponsorships and suggestions, email us at trendafricatv@gmail.com or call us on 773-312-0318 or 773-756-6678. Remember to also follow and like us as Trend Africa TV on Facebook so you can always catch us live. On Instagram as Trend Africa TV 123 or subscribe to our YouTube channel as Trend Africa TV and click on the notification button to watch previous shows. You can also visit our website for your African news, entertainment, fashion, and sports updates on www.trendafricaonline.net. Trend Africa TV, redefining Africa.
Hello, wonderful viewers. You are welcome back. We are welcome today also to Western Togoland Situation Room. This is only where we tell you the truth about Western Togoland for you to make your own judgment. You be your own judge. You sit behind your TV, your screen, and relax whilst we give you the facts. But today's program is going to be a little bit different. I'll be opening a different chapter, telling you about the activities and the developmental plans that the people of Western Togoland, especially People's Liberation Council, are taking to bring their state into a noble state, or to make their state a noble state. And then today, my guest to be on the show, his name is Mr. David Kofi Boko. He is the PLC coordinator for Australia, Asia, Pacific Zone. But unfortunately, he will not be on this show. He's supposed to be holding the fort for the skill development coordinator of for Western Togoland Technology Incubator. He, Boko, is supposed to be holding the fort for the skill development coordinator for Western Togoland Development Technology Incubator. But unfortunately, he, Boko, could not make it because of geographical location and some technical hitches here and there. He could not make it. What I did was, over the weekend, I tried talking to him on the phone and get all the questions that I want to ask him. I did ask him, and he provided the answers to me. And I put the answers on this sheet that I made him aware that today I will be reading his comments to the audience so that the people of Western Togoland, Ghana, and people of the world will know the developmental plan or the project that PLC is undertaking. If you have been following my program, I've mentioned Western Togoland Technology Incubator before. The last time, I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I brought Madam Edem Sebefia, the coordinator, the organizer for Western Togoland Association of Women in Development. She told us what they have been doing, and I promised that I'll be bringing the Western Togoland Technology Incubator, the one in charge, to the show. But unfortunately, I apologize, I was not able to get him. It's not my fault. I try my best, but I have his words for you. I try my best, but I was not able to get him. It was actually a big blow. And as we go on the program, we will know why he will not be able to come. Okay, before I go on, let me take a short commercial break. After the commercial break, we'll go on. And then I will also like my viewers to send their comments so that I can read. During the program, I will take one commercial break so that I can read your comments. So please, when we come back from the commercial break, I would like you to send your comments whilst the program is ongoing. So we take a short commercial break. Stay right there and don't go anywhere.
What it do, my people? It's your boy Kingsley Ego B, aka King the Preacher, aka the Peacemaker, aka the Joy of the People. Is my peace of mind. You are now watching Trend Africa. Don't touch that dial. If you won't touch her. Come on out there. Keep watching Trend Africa. We are here. Africa has come to stay. Don't touch that dial. One love. Keep watching. Ratata.
Thank you so much. Welcome back to Western Togoland Situation Room. Like I said, this is the only way we tell you the truth about Western Togoland for you to be your own judge. Don't let anyone tell you differently. This is your story. We will tell a story by ourselves. Yeah, like I said, when I spoke to Mr. David Buko, the coordinator for Australia Asia Pacific Zone, who was holding the fort for the skill development coordinator of the PLC, responsible for Western Togoland Technology Incubator. The first question I asked him was, I tried to find out what Western Togoland Technology Incubator. If we say Western Togoland Technology Incubator, what are we talking about? I tried asking him to explain what is it about, so people who don't know will actually understand what we mean by Western Togoland Technology Incubator. And this is what Buko said. The Western Togoland Technology Incubator is an institute in the formation to promote technological development in Western Togoland. In line with her mandate of promoting education and development, the People's Liberation Council of Western Togoland has taken this initiative to empower citizens to take up skills that will support rebuilding Western Togoland into a noble state. We are currently operating a virtual window platform for training and networking incubators to set up businesses in Western Togoland to reverse the rural-urban drift. That is his words. Before I go on, in fact, when he mentioned Western Togoland Technology Incubator, I was taken aback because I was thinking that we'll be talking about technology. In my view, I was thinking about iPhone. Maybe Western Togoland is going to be manufacturing iPhone, the newest iPhone, but it is possible though. It's a step. But he has made it clear that it is technology incubator is an institute in the formation to promote technological development in Western Togoland. That means it's not only limited to iPhone or some certain areas. When something, if they don't begin something now, it means in future they can start it. They have a platform for people to come up with what they can do in terms of technology. Technology evolves in all sphere of life. If you go to agriculture, you need technology. If you go to health sector, you need technology. Everywhere you go, education, you need some technology also. So gradually, we'll get to all aspects. But he will be giving us the aspect that they have started with, where they have been doing now, he will tell us. And I want to tell you something again, that when we talk about technology development in Western Togoland, it's a shame. It's a shame that Western Togoland is in this situation now, that technology development has gone down. Because I just want to take your mind back. Today, I'm not talking about history, but these things sometimes it brings back the memory. When the Germans were on Togoland as a whole. For those who were following our program, you knew that the Togoland was divided into two. It was divided into Eastern Togo and Western Togo. So when I'm saying Togoland in general, I'm talking about both Eastern Togoland and Western Togoland together, that we call Togoland. So when the Germans first came on the Togoland, they tried to enhance technology development in Togoland. And you could see that we have the communication sector built in Togoland. So that was where the British, the German can communicate. They use their communication network to communicate from Togoland to France. They can communicate with their warship. They can communicate, relay information from Togoland to every part that they want to send their information to. That was done in the den when the German was on the land, and you could see that the development the technology development was picking up. You could see we have the railways at the time too. All this while we don't have those development in the Gold Coast at the time, but now they have it. They have it later after the German left the Togoland. That's why when you talk about development, technology development in Western Togoland going down, those of us who knows how the development of technology started with the German, and now that it has gone down, we feel a little bit, embarrassed, a little bit, maybe taking a step back if we should have improved upon what the German did before they left. This is what Bukor continued when he continues what he said. We believe that education must make people self-reliant to keep the state progressively developing. Our education is therefore directed at utilizing the vigor of the youth to improve upon the weak technological conditions they have inherited and setting precedents for subsequent generations to emulate. Western Togoland Weavers Union, one product of networking, has already come out with sample of their product. So under the Western Togoland Technology Incubator, they have series of projects. So one of the projects that Bukor mentioned to me was that Western Togoland Weavers Union, and he told me specifically that that union has come out with samples of their product. They have done a sample of their product. And he said a business plan is currently being developed to set up cotton farms, a cotton processing factory, and a kente factory in order to provide employment for 1,000 or more other youth. So under the same program, the incubator, the technology incubator, we have the Western Togoland Weavers Union, and now we have the cotton farmers. So they have a cotton farm, and then they have talking about cotton processing factory. They are trying to come up with a cotton processing factory. But when we goes down to what he told me, we know how far they have gone with that arrangement also. So Western Togoland Technology Incubator does not only involve one thing. It's a series of programs. We'll see one by one. Visibility study is going on now by some of our incubators who are also networking to set up an aluminium factory in Western Togoland. Wow. When I heard this, I asked some very funny questions. When we get there, I will tell you. So we also hear of aluminium factory also coming to the picture. I mentioned Western Togoland Weavers Union. I mentioned cotton farms. I mentioned cotton processing factory, and now I mentioned aluminium factory. So you can see all that goes into the incubator. It's not one thing. They have already come out with samples of cooking pot and frying pans that they want to start with. So here, Mr. Bukor is referring to the aluminum factory. The people who are interested in setting up that factory, they have also come out with their first product, sample product. They've come out with a frying pans. You know, we like to fry egg and we like fry stuff, fry kelewele. So I think they're trying to see things that they use locally. I don't know. I have no idea. That is my personal perspective. You cannot take my word for that. But I'm telling you what they are doing. But I'm just saying that is my perspective, my personal view. You can take it, you can leave it. They have come out with a cooking pot and frying pans, and they want to start with. They have a cooking pot, a frying pan that they have been able to do as a sample, that they want to start with those things, according to what Bukor told me. You will also be glad to know that the technology incubator is also working hard to develop equipment for beekeeping, which the PLC is already securing materials to promote throughout Western Togoland and possibly Ghana too. Yeah, there is a beekeeping association also in it. Western Togoland Incubator, I can tell you point blank that I am also involved in the beekeeping. That is something that I personally am involved. But I am not telling you my personal view. So we'll go by what Mr. David Bukor, who is holding the fort for the skill development coordinator, he's holding the fort for him. So what he told me, I have to tell you that. So that if it is my personal program that I have to tell you, I will tell you more about the bee. But I want you to know that I am also involved in the Western Togoland bee keeping project. I can tell you, I'm not supposed to, but I can tell you that I think we'll be harvesting our next honey in February, if I'm not lying. February, yes. Yes, I'm waiting to have a couple of pure honey. I like sweet things. So those of you who would like to have honey, February, or is it January? I'm missing the month. But soon, because we'll be harvesting. If it is not February, it will be January. But I am sure it's going to be February. That February will be having another harvest, and of which I am directly involved. Yeah. So if you want honey, please, you can contact me. Okay. But that will be from February going. If you contact me now, you have nothing to get from. Yes. So yeah, beekeeping, which PLC is already securing materials to promote throughout Western Togoland and possibly Ghana too. Okay. Now, this is where I asked him one question. I was thinking that the audience, once I keep telling you that Mr. David Bukor is holding the fort for the skill development coordinator, that means the overall boss who's in charge with Western Togoland Incubator himself is not the one I am talking to, but Mr. David Bukor, who is the coordinator for the Australia Asia Pacific zone. He is the one holding the fort because he worked directly with the skills development coordinator. He worked directly with him. So he is the assistant because he is not in Western Togoland. So he can be the one in charge, but he worked with him, he coordinated with him. So I was like, okay, my viewers would like to know if or why he should be the one holding the fort for him. Why not he himself talking to me? Now, this is what he said. Very interesting. He said, our people back home are under a form of oppression that scares them from boldly performing their duties. This is something that you and I know. If you don't know, I am aware. I'll repeat that. Our people back home are under a form of oppression that scares them from boldly performing their duties. The coordinator himself has to quell for fear of intimidation. So his work has to be taken up by somebody else from the diaspora. You see, the coordinator, the overall boss, who is in charge of Western Togoland Incubator, he has to quell out of fear. He has to quell down somewhere for the fear of intimidation. We all know this. We all know this. I told you when I had Madam Edem Sebefia on the show, why the Western Togoland Association of Women in Development, why the program has to come to a stop. All because the women who are out there on the field working are now scared. They fear that they will be arrested because they are doing something good, but because they are doing it under the name Western Togoland. So they can't go on. It's the same thing happening to this young man. With all these brilliant and good intentions, you have to quell somewhere. Because if you bring your face out, you end up in police cells. But as to how long can that arrangement work as far as Western Togoland evolution is concerned, there is a very huge question mark on it. The level of intimidation is so huge that those in power are still blind to the detrimental effect this system is having on Ghana itself. The training and networking we are doing doesn't discriminate between Western Togolanders and Ghanaians. And Western Togoland manpower has long been very useful to Ghana. So you can imagine how intimidation of Western Togolanders is even delaying the progress of the Ghana with which we are in union. And that's what he's telling us. The program that the PLC is undertaking does not discriminate against anyone. Whether you are a Ghanaian, you are a Western Togolander, they don't care. What that they care for is that the program come to being and everybody works. They are believing, the PLC believe that we are in union, and when the union is formally established, we still continue to be in union and be one people and do things together. So when they are planning something and they are doing something, it's not a matter of who is a Western Togolander or who is a Ghanaian. Everybody is one. We should all do it together. So they don't discriminate against anyone. And everything that they do is beneficial to Ghana as a whole. But because of the intimidation, the arrest and unnecessary arrest, that is affecting their program. It's also affecting the developmental agenda of Ghana. It's not only them, but it's the country. If you follow the manifesto of Ghanaian politicians, you know that everybody is talking about development. Everybody is talking about bringing up a job. Everybody is talking about setting up businesses so that people can flourish. Everybody is talking about making the economy viable for businesses to flourish. This is one of the areas that the people have taken up the challenge to set up a business to promote development in the Western Togoland, which is actually in Ghana. Because Western Togoland and Ghana are intertwined and they are together. They're supposed to be in union. So they are one country. They are not different. If we say Western Togoland, it's just Ghana. If you say Ghana, it's Western Togoland. It's just one country. If you can see, if you in the lives of capitalism, you see that the government creates enable environment for citizens or private sector to flourish, individual entrepreneurs to flourish. So when people are upcoming, because Ghana is a very youthful country, we are young, the population is very young. So when you have a young population, you have an active population, people who are ready to work. So it is easy for that country to develop quick if the government can establish the right tools, put the right tools down for these people to use. And you could see that from our politicians in Ghana. You could see that in their manifestos. You will see how they were promising that we'll do this, we'll put this down so that you can make you prosper, you can make you prosperous in business, you can make you flourish. Instead, you want to set up business, some corporate taxes will be cut down for businesses to flourish, more people will be employed, more money will be generated. All these things is to empower the youth, the countrymen. So do the same thing that People's Liberation Council is doing by setting up this small business to absorb the unemployed. Those unemployed in Ghana and Western Togoland, they will be absorbed by this program that PSC is putting up. They are just starting from the scratch, little by little. They are not doing it, in a very big scale, I should say. But I believe that gradually it will keep, improving or growing, just like the beekeeping, of which I am directly involved. It wasn't anything on a large scale so far. But the idea, because I'm not allowed to talk about the beekeeping here, but I'm just giving you a gist of it. The idea behind it is that once we started it, then we'll keep improving it, we'll keep expanding it, we'll be expanding it, and then before you see, it becomes something else. So the idea is not to start here and remain there. It's to start somewhere and keep expanding, keep growing. The same thing about the aluminum factory that you mentioned. The same thing about the what factory? The Kente factory, the cotton factory that Mr. Buko mentioned to me. So I think the cotton cotton processing factory. Yes. I don't know. Cotton have just caught my attention. Yes. Cotton was one of the major products why the Europeans came to Africa. When they came, especially the German, when German took over, this is just a history. Today I'm not talking about history, but it just come to my mind. So let me blow it out. For those who are not aware, you will get that from me. When German first came to take over Togoland, they get involved in cotton farm. So they mobilize our forefathers, the indigenous, they mobilize them and push them into cotton farming. So they have a huge cotton farming. So they were one of the best when it comes to cotton. For they were number one in Western, and it's not Western Togoland, in Togoland. Yeah, in Togoland, in general, Togoland, because Togoland was divided into two, Eastern Togoland and Western Togoland. So Togoland in general, that's the both Eastern and West. So we were number one cotton processing country when the German was here, and that it made German very rich and powerful because they produce cotton, process it, send it back to Germany, where they process and use it to develop their economy. It was one of the things that other imperialists were against, because they see that Germans have upper hand in these things, and these things are helping, these products are helping their economy to grow. And if the West don't do something about it, soon Germany will take over. They'll become the superpowers at the time. If you read First World War, why they have to First World War have to come and stuff like that, you will get those stuff that I'm talking about, where Germany was growing in strength, in economic strength, and all these things were part of the thing that empowered Germany economically at the time. That's where the First World War will have to come in to stop Germany. You could see that's where the German spread the influence. People were, the last time somebody was asking me, the Western Togoland include the northern part. We mentioned the Boku East, Muba, and all, Sisala, and all stuff like that. And I say yes. And they say, but how come you call the entire place Togoland? And I explained that when the German came, they didn't come with any name. They first arrived in Togoland. And when they arrived in Togoland, they keep spreading, in the later years, they keep spreading their influence up to the northwards. So they didn't come to capture the place at once. The place that was captured beginning was Togoland. And then from there, they keep spreading their influence. They keep spreading, they keep going, conquering. And when they are going, they were not changing name. They were just maintaining what they have, that they are Togoland. So that's how the name stretched all the way to the Boku East. So all these places were places that had the German influence. So it's not about the name, it's about the German influence. That's what it is, because they arrived in certain place first before they spread out. It's like a cancer. You know, when cancer hits one spot, it hit that small spot. When you go, your doctor will tell you the cancer is spreading. Okay, that's it. Let me just go on what Mr. Bukot told me. But okay, I finished that one. So let me see the next question I asked my guest before I'll go in for a short commercial break. But before, let me see my next question I asked. I said that is true because we have had a lot of instances where progressive programs coming to Ghana are sabotaged by Ghanaian authorities because the credit goes to voter region. Similarly, programs of some companies and institutions are hindered by sinister acts of sabotage, which has become the normal behavior of Ghanaians. Then I said viewers can viewers how I said viewer can imagine what I'm talking about, that there's some programs that are supposed to come to Western Togoland, but because it was going directly to the voter region, and then it was, blocked. by the government. We remember where we have, well, this, I don't want to go into that. I know somebody from Western Togoland who's supposed to go to Korea. It's all about beekeeping. But this beekeeping would have benefited the Volta region. And now, of course, it's benefiting them. So I've just told you I'm involved in the beekeeping, and I also have a little bit advantage there. So this guy was sabotaged. Where is the government of Ghana supposed to back this guy to go to Korea and for beekeeping meat association to represent not Volta region, but to represent entire Ghana? But because the beekeeping itself, the association itself is located in the Volta region, the government couldn't allow this guy to go. Before the government could respond to the letter, the date is already expired. That before the government came in. Meanwhile, the date and everything, the letters, everything was sent to the government at the time. There's a lot of instances. There's a lot of instances. I just don't want to be saying certain things here, but these are facts that we are actually talking about. How can a country that is 63 years old be delaying its own progress by condoning retrogression? Yes, that is retrogression. Ghana is about 63 years. So how can we be doing that as a country? Since there is a law backing any misbehavior against Western Togolanders, it is impossible for Ghana to develop so long as we are almost amalgamated in union. Everybody must think over what empowers Ghanaians to be hostile to Western Togolanders at all levels in society. Yeah, well, that also brings my mind to the recent collapse of banks in Ghana. I don't want to talk about those things because it has to do with a higher political issue. But you will understand that even in the recent time, locally produced banks that are owned by Ghanaians themselves have to be collapsed. And the same politician came up and argued intensively that the amount of money that is used to collapse these banks is more than the money the government of Ghana would have used to save these banks. These are banks owned by Ghanaians that have been collapsed. And they have argued and they gave out figures of number of workers, Ghanaians, who have lost their job because of the collapse of the banks. And these people are going to sit home unemployed. These are active youth who can contribute their quota to the development of this country. So if Western Togoland can, PLC, I should say, if PLC can come up with all these developmental programs, then these people can also have job to do. Those who don't have, it's not necessarily going back to the bank. If you have something to do in the beekeeping, you can do it. If you have something to do with the aluminum factory, you can go and do it whilst you wait for your bank to come back, or you wait to get a job in a different bank as well. So I think what we are doing here is also very important. Anyway, let me come back to what our incubator coordinator said. He also said, we send out educative materials on various kinds of invention, innovation, and skills development to participants on the platform. Discussions are held by people according to their field of interest. We are observing the most patronized field in order to launch a webinar for each, where participants will take direct instructions from their facilitators and share feedback on their practical activities. Members of the platforms socialize and form partnership according to their business demand. And this is how plans for an aluminum factory and the cotton value chain becomes a substance for our incubation. Okay. So what about kente weaving? Kente weaving, because he also said something about kente weaving, you know. how Kente, we say Kente is from the Volta region, as a matter of fact. That is coming from me. It's not from Boonre. Before the Boonre will come up with Kente is already being done in Klikor area. For those of you who are from Klikor, you know that the Kente was already done in the Volta region before Boonre started Kente. But when you go back to the books where we read in the school, in the Ghana school, they say Kente from Boonre. Well, anyway, that is my perspective. It's my personal issue. You can choose to take it, you can choose to leave it. I can be wrong, I can be right. So don't take me for that. That is my own words. In Western Togoland situation, we just give you the fact for you to be your own judge. When I'm giving you something from my perspective, I have to let you know. All right. This is what Bukos said. Surely raw materials will be needed, and if our land can be useful for cotton production, we don't have to import. Yeah, that is a very good point. If you are to set up a cotton factory and you can produce cotton yourself, it means we have already generated a raw material for the factory to feed the cotton factory. And those who will be working in the cotton farm will be different from those who will be working in the cotton factory. So you have two sets of people to employ. So if the cotton farm employ 5 people and the cotton factory employ 20 people, then the number multiplies. The number goes higher. Cotton production is one of the attributes of Togoland which can be restored and advanced by, yeah, I think I said that. When it comes to cotton production, I said that when the German came. I think Bukos said the same thing here. Listen, I go back to what he said. He said, cotton production is one of the attributes of Togoland which can be restored and advanced by present-day civilization standards. Then comes the question of funding of all these projects. I also asked the question about funding for this project, because all that he's saying, we need money to fund this project. But what he says about that, I want to take a short commercial break. When I come, I will read some of our messages, and then I will continue with how Western Togoland Technology Incubator, how they plan to fund their program. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll take a short break. Don't go away. Stay with me. This is Western Togoland Situation Room. We'll be right back.
Before, there was no football match that I, patenting Papa Field esophagus, would prevent my optical nerves from witnessing. But since the unwelcome, ubiquitous, and hazardous coronavirus, I have nipped all public commingle, interfusion, gathering, and cocooned myself to my permanent place of domicile. Health authorities and aficionados have outlined a few steps to follow.
We never see this kind of thing before. What be COVID-19? We never hear this kind of word before.
Wrong. Please sneeze into a tissue and dispose it off immediately.
This kind of virus is here to kill. So make we take all the precautions.
Wash your hands with soap under running water or clean them with alcohol-based hand sanitizer immediately before touching any object, especially objects with public usage.
This kind of virus, you don't know rich, you don't know poor person.
Also drink a lot of water intermittently, exercise, and have a lot of rest. I appeal to you, proletarians, bourgeoisies, laws and themselves. Let's be mindful of our actions and inactions. Let's follow the do's and don'ts as outlined by health experts so that we contain this pandemic that is causing pandemonium, ululation, coronaphobia the world over with abracadabras,
coronavirus, we never seen this kind of thing before. What be COVID-19? We never.
What it do, my people? It's your boy Kingsley Ego B, aka King the Preacher, aka the Peacemaker, aka the Joy of the People is my peace of mind. You are now watching Trend Africa. Don't touch that dial. If you won't touch her. Come on there. Keep watching Trend Africa. We are here. Africa has come to stay. Don't touch that dial. One love. Keep watching. Ratata.
Thank you. Welcome back to Western Togoland Situation Room. Like I said, this is where we'll tell you the truth and for you to be your own judge. I will go now and read some of our comments from our viewers. Our viewers on Facebook. This is coming from Vonyo Christian, and he said, I'm watching you live from Western Togoland in Bakpa Avedo. If I don't mention the name well, please forgive me. This is again, Togbi Gamedra is watching. Okay, thank you, Togbi Gamedra, for watching. This is Avono Christian again. I think it's the same thing. I'm watching you live from Bakpa Avedo in Western Togoland, and now keep up the good work for the motherland. Divine Doko is watching. Oh, thank you, sir. I salute you. It has been a long time. I heard your name when I had my guest, Madam Edem Segbefia, on the program. We know you are the brain behind the Western Togoland Development, Western Togoland Association of Women in Development. I salute you. Thanks for watching my program today. I'm blessed. We have also here, this is Shaq S. Philip. Enough of the education. We need action now. Total independence now. I'm sorry, Mr. Clark. Philip, Western Togoland is not about independence. We are already independent. We are talking about union with our brothers and sisters in Ghana. That is what our forefathers chose. If you go back to history, you will know that our forefathers chose union in 1956. They have already laid a foundation. What we need to do is to build on that. We can't go back and start a new foundation. Our forefathers have started that foundation for us. So if we talk about independence, I don't know what you are talking about. Western Togolanders are not slaves. They might be, treated badly. Or they might be treated in a way that they don't want. But that does not mean that you should be saying that we should go in for independence. We are not talking about independence here. We are talking about union. Union is the ultimate, and it's what our forefathers have laid down for us to follow the same path. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Clark. Tagmi Gemedra, you better come out from the mental slavery and pray for our freedom. This is Romeo replied to, okay, that's fine. Rose Petty, then you to stop watching it. This is JK what? JK, your name, I don't know how I'm going to pronounce this, but he said, Mr. Seth, I wish you best. Mr. JK Cherere, I think the name is Cherere, but I'm sorry if I'm not getting the name pronounced rightly. This is Christian Avanyo again. Western Togoland Incubator is the only thing that will transform. We have the idea, but he didn't continue. He just put some dot over there. This is Richard Clinham Towley is watching. This is Clinham. If something concerns you here, please don't join. If nothing is not concern you here, please don't join. This is Empress Maushi is watching. Oh, thank you, Empress. I'm blessed, Empress. I'm blessed. Thank you so much for watching the program. I'm so blessed. Thank you very much. I'll go back to where I left off. Odano, my salute to Empress Maushi. I salute you, Madam. I give you respect for watching my program. I'm so blessed. Thank you for letting us know that you are watching. Thank you very much, Madam Empress. Yeah, so after all this that we are talking about, we need funding to fund the program. So I inquired from Mr. David Boko to find out how they are going to fund all these programs because we need money. And he said, this is what he said. We want to follow the PSC ideology of using the little that we have. We have the human resources. You are also one. What? It's you, not me. It's a you. Or maybe you and me. You and I, all of us. So we have the human resources. You are also one. We have citizens back home and in the diaspora who, with a little more enlightenment, can invest in projects back home. Symbolically, communities back home can hold shares in the project and use their dividend for community development. Well, like I said, I am involved with beekeeping. So it means my dividends, anyway, I'll leave that one to me and the people that hold shares in the beekeeping. So if you also want to hold share in any of the businesses, the developmental plans project that I mentioned, you are allowed to do so. But now you cannot directly get the coordinator. You can write to me or you can send me your concern and I will channel it and you will get the right person where you can get involved. If you want to get involved with the beekeeping, when you contact me directly, I'll be glad to talk to you, tell you everything about the beekeeping. But apart from that, any other thing, aluminium processing factory, cotton farming, kente, weavers union, and all that, if you contact me, I have to transfer you to somebody else. Okay. Other entities can also invest in the related projects. So I also inquire again, how can you target mass production in agriculture with just the little that you have? Because that is one of the PSC ideology, that we should use the little we have to gain for ourselves the maximum that we want. But that's what he said, but people may not understand. That's why I'm trying to elaborate on that. He said, we want to follow the PSC ideology of using the little that we have. That's why I am expanding that ideology. For those who don't know, that one of the PSC ideology is that we should use the little that we have to gain the maximum that we want for ourselves. So if you say you have a little freedom today, use that little freedom to gain the total freedom for yourself. If you have a little capital today, use that little capital to gain the maximum capital for yourself. That is all that the PSC is talking about. If you have something little, if you have something small, you don't need the bigger one to start from the bigger platform. That's all that PSC is talking about. That is what he is saying. So I also ask him, how can you target mass production in agriculture with just the little that you have? Because money is hard to come by these days. So he said, don't get that. Don't forget that there are many unemployed graduates and school dropouts whose labor can be enhanced with medium-scale technologies for the nation to move forward. It is an object of the technology incubator to innovate according to our demands for development. So we shall promote manufacturing of the necessary equipment. That is what he said. And in fact, it is true that we have unemployed graduates. In fact, even in Ghana today, Ghana and Western Togoland, we have unemployed graduate association. That I'm not the one saying it, it's a fact. You can check the records. So they are saying that we have unemployed graduates and school dropouts whose labor can be enhanced with minimum scale technology. So you see, the people are planning for the school dropouts, the graduates who don't have a job, and what that you need is that you need a minimal scale technology to have these people get something doing, to engage these people doing something meaningful. And out of this, you can achieve the greater things that you want to achieve. You have to start from somewhere and get to somewhere. So we don't have to sit down and be waiting. It's a very good plan. You see, it's not all the plan. I was talking about large scale farming. But you see where the guy was pushing me. He's bringing me back for me to know that, yes, we want a large scale, everything on a larger scale. But not that we will start gradually from the scratch, little by little, and we progress to the large scale. So for him not to say that directly to me, he's telling me that don't forget that there are many unemployed graduates and school dropouts whose labor can be enhanced with medium scale technology for the nation to move forward. And it is true. Akada boys are there. You don't need that much. You just need something little to get Akada boys. Don't forget that Akada boys have been promised that the Akada riders, the job will be legalized and people can now go into Akada business. So you just take an example of that. If somebody is a school dropout, if somebody is an unemployed graduate and want to go into Akada business, per the politicians' own manifesto, when they legalize that, it means it become a lawful and a legal business that everyone can go into. If you're a school dropout, you want to go into Akada business, you can go into it. If you are unemployed graduate, you can go into Akada business if you want to. But here, PLC is telling you that they also have other businesses that they can also engage you, that not necessarily going into Akada business. If all of you run to Akada business, who else is going to ride your Akada? You come to a point that in every home there's Akada rider. So if you want to go to market or whatever, you want to call the rider in your home to take you. And then that if you don't have nobody coming from your home, then nobody will ride your Akada, because almost everybody have Akada rider in their home. So what do? It's just like a hairdressing business. Those who are owning the hairdressing salon, if you think I'm lying, if you go to Western Togoland and Ghana, hairdresser is almost in every home. In every home, there's a hairdresser there. So when you want to make your hair, you just call your next door hairdresser. Oh, Charlie, come and do my hair for me. You open your salon and say, come, because this is my hairdresser who live with me or who live nearby. So instead of me going to outside for hairdressing, I have one in my house. So because it became many, then the business, you don't make that much money in the business. So, but we are Western Togoland also coming out with other avenue where you can consider as a substitute in case you have a business that is not fetching you enough. Western Togoland is also coming up under the auspice of PLC, coming out with so many things to engage the unemployed graduates and then the school dropouts with just a minimal technologies to move the country forward. It is an object of the technology incubator to innovate according to our demands for development. So we shall promote manufacturing of the necessary equipment. Now, when he said that, on all that we talk about, he mentioned aluminum factory and all that. And you know, I'm looking at Ghana. I'm not looking outside Ghana. So what came to mind was Vaku. Vaku came to mind. So I questioned him about Vaku. That if he talking about the aluminum factory, is he talking about having a factory compared to Vaku? That would be like a Vaku. Because I was looking at it from the bigger perspective, and but let's see what he also said. Not yet. He said, not yet, please. Not yet, please. We are thinking about a way of engaging the many idle youth in productive ventures that will make them self-reliant instead of preparing them to become servants of highly rich exploiters. Well, I ask if those companies that he's talking about, especially the aluminum factory, if it will be like Vaku. And he said, not yet. We are thinking about a way of engaging the many other youth in productive ventures that will make them self-reliant instead of preparing them to become servants of highly rich exploiters. Very well. That's what I said from the very beginning. All this while, this guy, if I raise the bar, he bring me down. If I raise the bar, he bring me down. I try to wave him and see how it will be. But this is the point I've raised the bar in comparing on Baku. We all know that Baku we need is a capital intensive venture. If you talk about Baku, and I was here, I'm talking about something you use the little that you have to get the maximum that you want. So the same ideology that this guy is bringing me back. He's saying that they are thinking about way of engaging the many idle youth in productive ventures. You see, they are not looking at the highest standard, but they are looking at it for the minimal way to engage the idle youth. Then gradually they will hit the level of vacuum. That's all that it means. Gradually they will hit the level of vacuum, and they might even bypass vacuum. They might even develop into a bigger thing. But for now, the youth are idle. Get them doing something so that, they say that the devil find a job for the idle man. So you get them job and take them out of trouble. So get them job and keep them going, and whilst you expand your industry, your factory to the level you want to be. So this is all that they are saying. And now also he mentioned something here that's very important. He said ventures that will make them self-reliant instead of preparing them to become servants of highly rich exploiters. When you allow people to go into richest business, people who are rich, like a private business and stuff like that, what they do is they believe in profit making. And profit making, they end up exploiting the workers. So you don't gain what you're supposed to make for your labor. So all these things will prevent that. This is all that he's saying, that the youth will be self-reliant. If they engage them in businesses, like what they are saying, then they will be self-reliant, and they'll prevent them from rich people who have businesses, and they will end up exploiting them. You see, the exploitation will stop. That is why sometimes when the government is bringing up businesses, it's telling you that if I come to power, I'm going to cut corporate taxes by 15%. If you open a new business for 2 years, you don't have to pay tax. Whatever tax you have to pay, you have to keep it for yourself and put it back into the business. And you ask yourself, how is the government going to make sure that the worker for that businessman is not exploited? Because the tax go to the state. So the state is giving you money for you to form into your business, for your business to develop or to grow. If your business grow, you can employ more. How more would this business if he employed more, how much would he pay for the labor of his workers? Is the government regulating that? You see, this is where even today is happening in Ghana and Western Togoland. Many of our youth are in businesses that their effort is not being paid for rightly. They are being exploited. They work and they get peanuts, but nobody talk about that. You see, that's what we call about the job security. Talk about job security. Well, I am not into that yet. I don't want to go into that, but I can tell you that all these things, you can see that people have all these things, job security at the back of their head, that they know that if we do this, but they are not mentioning it, but indirectly, it's all about job security. So they try to get the either use something that they can become self-reliant. When they are self-reliant, people cannot exploit them. The rich man over there cannot exploit them. You see? Well, maybe I am understanding in a different way, but don't take my word for it. You just listen to what Bukor said, and then we'll go by it. Sometimes I'm making my own assumption. That's my own perspective, my own understanding. So you can bear with me. I have my free will to speak my mind. just as you also have. So yes, we came to beekeeping as well. So what has the technology incubator to do with beekeeping? This is what I ask. I ask this question because I myself, I am involved in the beekeeping. So when I ask, what has the technology incubator had to do with the beekeeping? When I asked him, he explained that you know that technology is the key to modern development. This is what Boko said. Technology is the key to modern development. Beekeeping has been an age-old profession, but its commercial value has not been well exploited until in recent time innovative approaches to production are adopted. Yes, it was recently that beekeeping was long time ago. It was there a long time ago, but now a little bit technology has gone into it. We have a traditional method of beekeeping, and then now we have a little advanced way where technologies are playing a role here. And now, according to Boko, they said until in recent time, innovative approaches to production are adopted. Now that we are having more of the bee production, we are seeing the commercial value of it. Now that technology is playing a role into the bee stuff like that. And since the PSA has proposed an agricultural revolution, we deem it a challenge for the technology incubator to study the field and see how best we can enhance its performance with improved technologies. I want to take that again. That's very important. It says, and since the PLC has proposed an agricultural revolution, we deem it a challenge for the technology incubator to study the field and see how best we can enhance its performance with improved technologies. Yes, PLC has proposed agricultural revolution in Western Togoland. That's one of the key things. And in my personal view, I think it's a very good thing, because if you have agricultural revolution, it's a way of feeding your own country. You see, if you have food for your country, it is good. You can feed yourself. You don't have to rely on everything, import. That people are importing tomatoes. People are even importing tomatoes to some countries. You see, but if you can embark on agricultural revolution, that means you'll be able to produce enough to feed your country. Well, that brings my mind back to some time ago, in the 90s, something we call domestication. I think it came out with Dan Latte. And there's some song like, say, we will eat what we grow, we'll grow what we eat. Those days that we were little boys and little girls in school, we must grow what we eat, something like that. I don't remember the song very well, but it was all about domestication, telling us that we should grow what we eat and eat what we grow. And now agriculture is the base, is the foundation of every country. If you can produce on a large scale agriculture, you are proud to feed your country. You know your country will not be hungry. I don't want to take you back to 1972, where we had Operation Feed Yourself. For those who know that story during Achampo time, you will know how it works. That operation worked because Ghanaians were into agriculture and they were producing and they were eating what they produce. They were produced to feed themselves and the country were eating what they themselves produced. It was not today that somebody want to drink a milk from USA. Somebody want to buy tomatoes from Italy because it came from Italy. It wasn't like that. So if we will have an agricultural revolution where we can produce to feed our people, then we are heading towards a better and a brighter path of our country. And that is one of the PSC ideology, agricultural revolution. And this is what the coordinator is telling me for the technology incubator. Is telling me that since Agricultural revolution is one of the PSC ideology. Let me see where I've gotten to. And since the PSC has proposed an agricultural revolution, we deem it a challenge for the technology incubator to study the field and see how best we can enhance its performance with improved technologies. Yes, like I said from the very beginning, technology cut across every area. In agriculture, you need technology. Everywhere, you need technology to go up, to improve. So they are thinking about, since PSC is seriously focused on agriculture revolution, it has become a challenge for them to see how they can use their technology to enhance agriculture in these aspects. He continues, some of the incubators are already coming out with ideas for making wild honey harvesting environmentally friendly. Let me take that again. Some of the incubators are already coming out with ideas for making wild honey harvesting environmentally friendly. The directors of the PSC are also getting some materials ready for supporting the beekeeping promotion program, which is meant for conservation, food production, and income generation. Of course, beekeeping, like I said, it is ongoing, and the PSC is the backbone of that beekeeping. And they are making materials available to enhance it, like I said, from the scratch. They want to start from the scratch little by little and progress to where they want to reach, where they will be producing in a larger scale. So that is exactly what he said. You can see this guy have a knowledge about everything that goes within the technology incubator, but he just giving us a gist of every area. But when he touches beekeeping, I am happy because I am involved. He also said that is not all about the technology incubator, but at this time, when the authorities in Ghana are exerting their power and wit to ensnare Western Togolanders and even deliberately collapse their businesses, we shall remain quiet over our future plans. Well, he said that is not all, but he cannot go further because of the activities of the Ghana authority, the way they are using their powers to collapse their businesses. So they will just give it the surface of it and remain there. Because they fear that when they expose everything, they might become under attack and their business might collapse. Like I told you before, he continued, we shall remain quiet over our future plans. We shall, however, keep hoping that those powerful ones come to the recognition that the more we are allowed to progress, the greater honor shall Ghana gain among the nations of the world. The more we are allowed to develop, the greater honor shall Ghana gain. I like that conclusion of Mr. David Boko. Yeah, that conclusion that he brought about for the interview that I had with him. This is all about Western Togoland Situation Room. Let me see if I have any comment from my viewers. Richard is watching. Okay, this is a person watch. I'm later. This is from Tagbi Blango Ayiko, Mr. Mifetu. This is from Victor. About Victor, Jonathan. Jonathan is just clapping. Jonathan, you're watching. Thank you. Jonathan is saying good. And this is what Mr. David Boko is saying. As a matter of fact, Mr. David Boko is a PSC coordinator for Australia, Asia Pacific Zone, and the acting coordinator of Western Togoland Technology Incubator. Excuse me. I can see very much well that Mr. Boko, who is the acting, is the acting coordinator for Western Togoland Technology Incubator. He have enough or details of the incubator. He have given us a lot of the incubator, what is it about, and what they have been doing. It's all about empowering the people of Ghana and Western Togoland together to grow, move forward, and grow in terms of development. It's not about only talking about union with the Gold Coast or with the Ghana, but it's also about doing something that will bring development to the people. And the PSC have taken up the course upon themselves to come up with strategies and businesses that can help the people to move forward. We are also appealing to the authorities to see light in what PSC is doing. They should see anything good what they are doing to help humanity to flourish and prosper in the area of development, in the area of job, in the area of education, anything at all that they are doing. I think all this is a better plan, and if we encourage the PSC to go on this way, I think we'll have a very good and a lovely country for us all. This development project and plan, it does not discriminate against anyone. It's not about Western Togoland. One thing that I know that I do not want to talk about here is that all these things, some of these things is being moved. They are shifting into Accra. Yeah, you might be saying, why is going to Accra? Because Accra is overloaded, it's choked, and they were trying to stop the rural-urban drift. Now, when this is established, they will stop people who are migrating to the big cities or big towns like Accra and Kumasi to look for jobs that are non-existent. You see, that's why Accra is overcrowded. It's choked because everybody is moving to Accra for a job. And you go there, the job is not in existence, but then you still have to go there and get something to do. Because of the intimidation and the arrest of stuff, they are trying now to move to either Accra or Kumasi or any other big town where there will not be bracket as Western Togoland, so that they can operate. But that defeats the purpose. It defeats the plan. So that is still in the pocket. It's in the table now being discussed. If we want to maintain this in Western Togoland, how do we maintain it that we will not be intimidated, that we will not be stuck, will not be, the business will not collapse? But if you take the business out of here, how does it benefit people in Western Togoland? It only ends up benefiting the people of Ghana. But we want to, the benefits should be both Ghana and Western Togoland. So how do we balance it? And you can see that Western Togoland is more deprived. So it's a thorny issue. I know that is in the table that is being discussed, but so far, because I am not involved directly into that, I don't know how that discussion is going and how things is going about that. So you can see very much what the activities of Ghana government of intimidation and sabotaging businesses from Western Togoland is really hurting some people on the ground, and it's really delaying development of Western Togoland and Ghana as well. If Western Togoland develop, it's Ghana that develop. Is Ghana develop, is Western Togoland that develop. If we are able to come up with this project, if all of them are able to flourish, we can assure you that this rural-urban drift will stop drastically. We will cut it down. People, you can see many citizens from Western Togoland move to Accra, Kumasi, and they end up doing Kayaye. When you listen to Madam Adam Sebefia, last time when I hosted her, who was the coordinator for Western Togoland Association of Women in Development, she was worried about how the young women have to leave their land and go to the big cities like Accra and Kumasi to look for jobs that are non-existent, and they end up street porters, which we call Kayaye. They end up street porters, and she even said, even when they become Kayaye, they end up sleeping outside, and some get pregnant because they get raped here and there. And then when they get pregnant, they have another mouth to feed. These are her words. She told me on this program that they have another mouth to feed, and that defeated the purpose of them going there. The idea is not to go to the big city, it's not to go to Accra to become Kayaye or to become mothers. It is to go there and look for a job that can bring them something that can make them have a better life. But when you go there, the condition compel you and you end up becoming a mother. And now you have a mouth to feed. So this is why they also came out with the program of Western Togoland Association of Women in Development to come out with a program, a developmental program that would help the women. Her program is only based on women, but this Western Togoland incubator, technology incubator, is for women and men. It's for everybody. It's a unisex program, and it's for both Ghana and Western Togolanders. It's for everybody. But the other one, the Western Togoland Association of Women in Development, is purely for women. But that one too has come. She told me point blank. I don't know where they have reached now. Maybe I'll try to contact her if there will be any improvement or any development so far, and she would like to come back to the show to share with us where they have reached so far. Then I will bring her back. I will do that. If I get her, I will try and bring her back if she has something new to tell us. Because she told me on the program that they have stopped. The program has come to a halt because of the arrest. The way Ghana government is arresting Western Togolanders indiscriminately. We are not saying that when people go wrong, that the law says they should be arrested. They should not be arrested. That's not what we are saying. But we are talking about indiscriminative arrest, where people are being arrested for just using the name Western Togoland, regardless of what they are doing. If they are doing the good things, they are being arrested. So it is so much worried that some of us are thinking that this will not move us forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'll bring today's cuttings down this way. I do not have any message to read out from this point. I thank you for watching Western Togoland Situation Room. This is where we end today's edition. We'll come your way, God willing, next week. We'll come with another interview. Hopefully, I'll be able to get someone to be my guest. If I don't, I will be the one who will do the talking myself, and I shall also try and bring you something very educative like this. Today is a different style together. We are not talking about history here, but I apologize. I have to chip in a few history because the things, come back to mind, stuff like that. Thank you so much for watching. This is Western Togoland Situation Room. This is where we end today's edition. We'll come your way next week, same time, same day. Thank you so much. It's bye-bye for now.
It feels so good.
To advertise with us, donate sponsorships and suggestions, email us at trendafricatv@gmail.com or call us on 773-312-0318 or 773-756-6678. Remember to also follow and like us as Trend Africa TV on Facebook so you can always catch us live. On Instagram as Trend Africa TV 123 or subscribe to our YouTube channel as Trend Africa TV and click on the notification button to watch previous shows. You can also visit our website for your African news, entertainment, fashion and sports updates on www.trendafricaonline.net. Trend Africa TV, rated